I'm using this one right here for a couple of different reasons. Number one, there was an update on how we can use for loops. It makes it a little bit smaller than what we had before. But I also wanted to show you another way of creating an array that, frankly, well, that's different. Notice int scores, all that looks the same, but wait a minute, where's the size? This will work only if you spell out literally all of the data. Now, in my previous pages that we had, I kind of do this on each line. Scores of 0 is 14, scores of 0 is 24, scores of 0 is 34. I kind of do it that way. This might be quicker and easier. There's nothing wrong with that. So I wanted to show you another way. If you know what some of the values are supposed to be in there, great. You can use that line instead. Makes it a little bit easier. Now let me get to my point here. On this particular block that I'm looking at here, what I'm showing you is an easy way of displaying the values in that array. This is an update from C++11 where I have int I, and yes, that's a colon, scores, name of the array, and it'll go through and it'll pick one at a time the elements from scores and go ahead and display it as I. Personally, I would rather use element because that is, you're displaying the element from within that array. That's me personally, but there's nothing wrong with using I. But I don't want you to think of the I as the same I as that you use where it was increment from 0 to 1 to 2, you know, increment. It doesn't do it that way, okay? So just a heads up when it comes to that. The next one is a little interesting too. The next one is that, and this is why I prefer using the word element instead, the overall score setup is exactly the same, but what's going to happen is that I am giving direct access to the value that I is looking at, or element, from scores. Here's what the crazy part is. This user is going to increment the I, which was 14, and because it has direct access, increment it now to 15. And it's going to do the same thing for every single one of these, because this for loop is going to go through all of the elements, no matter what that is, going through all the elements, incrementing them, and then if we were to display it afterwards, using actually this up here, then we would go ahead and have the results would define or show that they have been changed. So just a heads up on a couple of things on this one page of notes.